start the morning off always kind of the same way. Making sure everybody's full of fuel. We'll check the oil here. Sure we're good on it. Dad just he just took off and headed north. He's going to go back there. This farm is huge right here. I mean, it runs from almost 1.5 miles from this gravel road clear over through another gravel road. Part of it kind of cuts down to this other gravel road way up north on the creek. There's probably, I don't know, 1,200 acres or better here on this farm. So Dad's headed over to the big creek, which the little creek's down here. We'll talk about a pretty interesting deal we got to get into down there. A piece of the property's landlocked on the other side, and we can see 2 really big walnut trees. So how we're going to get those out, I'm not 100% sure yet. We've got some ideas, and we'll talk about that later. But while Dad's going to look for trees, we'll make sure this little guy's ready. We've had some people ask about our 548, the grapple skidder. New engine's in it. It's sitting on the yard. It's ready to go. Actually, the next bigger job of walnut we're going to move to, we'll take the grapple skidder over there. We'll probably try to move to it later this week. Once we kind of get the wraps on this thing here. There's a lot of bouncing around on this part of the farm here, which same owner on the other farm. It's about, I don't know, at least 10 miles. Let me think of where we're at even. 8, 9, 10, I don't know. It's that way east. So it's a pretty good sized farm, quite a bit of walnut there. So we'll get the oil checked on this thing, let it fire up and warm up, then we'll see if we can get out what we got down yesterday. Chainsaw wrench is a handy tool. Yeah, looks good to me. Gonna start for a second. It's not that cold this morning. It's only about 35 degrees above freezing, which it's supposed to. Like I said, they're still calling for upper 60s. I heard this morning anywhere from 66 to 69 degrees. Just depends on what weather outlet you listen to. We'll let this guy sit here and warm up a little bit. See if I can get down before I fall down. Probably need to put a new choker on before long. That one's getting a pretty good kink in it. It's been on a while. What I do a lot of times is I'll flip them. So at one time, this end of the cable was down here and vice versa. So when it gets that kink in it, they get hard to put under a log. People ask us why we never use chain chokers. I don't know anything about chain chokers, never used them, never even seen them. They're not real common in this part of the world I'm in. Probably a better deal, don't know. Never used them. I just kind of stick with what I know. Today's traction. The ground's still frozen enough. Even though the tires are knee deep in rubber, they still won't bite. We need a set of chains on this thing for the next day or two. What we'll do here is we'll pull up as far as we can. We'll go ahead and lock in. This is my second trip up to this. Of course, it's pretty rocky too. That doesn't help. We'll drop the load right here. That's it. Then you just got to sit here and winch up. After you kind of back into a little tree to hold you in place. we'll get this one here now. This little mess up from yesterday. Said I'm afraid it's gonna, if we're lucky, it'll just uproot the whole tree. Is what I'm hoping it'll do. When we go to pull it down, then we can salvage a piece out of that. That's still about a 12-inch tree. It's not super big, but it's big enough to take to market. You can see it's got a little sweep in it. But I think we can cut that into 2 pieces and have 2 good logs. It might be a, I don't know if it'll make 2 8s. It might be an 8 and a 7, maybe 2 7s. We'll just have to get it on the ground and see. So I'm going to stand on the arch here, hook the cable around this log. We'll get it pulled down, and we got another one right here that's hung too. We'll get it down. We got a few more right up here ahead of us we need to cut yet. Dad's up there on the top of the hill at the deck working them as we get them out. Perfect. So this little peninsula here on the other side of this creek, it loops around over there, makes a bend. You see where it bends back over there. We know there's 2 walnut out there for sure, 2 pretty good ones. It looks like there's another one right out there in the middle. Of course, you can see the fence line right there. Zoom in. So I don't know how we're going to get across there. Even if we can, we might just have to winch those things across that thing. Get a pair of hip boots, wade across, hook cables, and winch. Which we've had to do things like that before. Which I think I see another one out there now. You can see it there right in the middle. See that guy? Looks like a walnut to me. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to have to do to get those if we want to get them. Dad's cutting a pretty good one here. Get it down on the ground. Now this land lays funny. It comes across right there. Kind of makes a little bottleneck because the other fence is right there. So you got this little bottleneck to get back over here to the other big part of the farm. A little outcropping of rocks right here. It's pretty neat. Southwest wind starting to pick up. That ain't no good. There she goes. Old grapevine, you gotta watch them things. Neat little cave. what keeps logging so interesting. This is an old house, barn. I really don't know what it was. I'm gonna guess it was an old house at one time. Here's a cellar. Still a lot of old mason jars down in there. Pretty good walnut tree right here. It's been here long enough, it's grown into these rocks. Now, what I was going to try to do is take this shovel here, or sharpshooter as Dad calls it. I'd never heard that term before, but I was going to try to dig down, get to this back side, but I don't know that we're going to be able to. For one, the ground is frozen. This is just rock solid, literally. Frozen solid. Of course, then you got rock right behind it. And I'm pretty sure the way it looks, this tree is grown into these rocks. So I don't know what to do about that. Aside from that, the southwest wind was keeping it so warm today. It's really starting to pick up. And it can make cutting kind of tricky. Starting to look like something. Good little bunch. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.